HESI A2 organ functions questions. Question 1. Which option identifies the region most important for localizing pain near the lower left abdomen because it contains part of the descending and sigmoid colon? Option A, left lower quadrant. Option B, left iliac region. Option C, umbilical region. Option D, the epigastric region. The correct answer is option A, left lower quadrant. A key clue is that this region also includes portions of the small intestine and left reproductive structures. It also contains part of the descending and sigmoid colon. That combination is central to localizing pain near the lower left abdomen. Question 2. Which option identifies the respiratory structure most directly associated with supplying the left respiratory organ and this function conducts air into the left lung? Option A, left main bronchus. Option B, terminal bronchiole. Option C, trachea. Option D, alveolar duct. The correct answer is option A, left main bronchus. This respiratory structure participates in supplying the left respiratory organ. It conducts air into the left lung, and it is longer and more horizontal because of heart position. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 3. Which option identifies the bone whose key function is, articulates with ribs? Option A, coxal bone. Option B, thoracic vertebra. Option C, hyoid bone. Option D, a lumbar vertebra. The correct answer is option B, thoracic vertebra. This bone articulates with ribs. It typically has long downward pointing spinous processes. These linked features explain the role in forming the posterior thoracic cage.
Stressed about your NA-CCMA? We can take NA-CCMA for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It directs air toward the larynx and food toward the esophagus, and it forms the inferior portion of the pharynx. Which option identifies the respiratory structure? Option A, type I alveolar cell. Option B, larynx. Option C, a laryngopharynx. Option D, type II alveolar cell. The correct answer is option C, laryngopharynx. The role tested here involves separating respiratory and digestive routes. This respiratory structure directs air toward the larynx and food toward the esophagus. It can also be identified because it forms the inferior portion of the pharynx. Question 5. Impairment of which neural structure or cell would most directly prevent the following function: receives signals from other cells? Option A, motor neuron. Option B, threshold. Option C, dendrite. Option D, microglial cell. The correct answer is option C, dendrite. A key clue is that this neural structure or cell typically conducts graded potentials toward the cell body. It also receives signals from other cells. That combination is central to collecting neuronal input. Question 6. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It prevents backflow from the pulmonary trunk into the right ventricle, and it opens during ventricular ejection. Which option identifies the cardiac structure? Option A, inferior vena cava. Option B, pulmonary semilunar valve. Option C, endocardium. Option D, chordae tendineae. The correct answer is option B, pulmonary semilunar valve. The role tested here involves directing blood out of the right side of the heart. This cardiac structure prevents backflow from the pulmonary trunk into the right ventricle. It can also be identified because it opens during ventricular ejection. Question 7. Which option identifies the muscle structure or process associated with coordinating skeletal muscle activation? And both clues: it consists of one motor neuron and all muscle fibers it controls, and it varies in size according to the precision of movement required. Option A, motor unit. Option B, T-tubule. Option C, actin. Option D, muscle fascicle. The correct answer is option A, motor unit. The function described is that this muscle structure or process consists of one motor neuron and all muscle fibers it controls. A second identifying feature is that it varies in size according to the precision of movement required. Together, the 2 clues explain the role in coordinating skeletal muscle activation. Question 8. A review item describes bones that include the talus and calcaneus among 7 bones. Which option identifies them? Option A, floating rib. Option B, tarsals. Option C, ethmoid bone. Option D, thoracic vertebra. The correct answer is option B, tarsals. For supporting weight transfer to the foot, these bones form the ankle and proximal foot. They can also be recognized because they include the talus and calcaneus among 7 bones. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations.
Are you looking for ATIT's 7 actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access ATIT's 7 study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get ATIT's 7 answer key today.
Question 9. Which option identifies the structure most directly associated with entering a spinal segment and this function carries sensory fibers into the spinal cord? Option A, organ of Corti. Option B, doval window. Option C, dorsal root. Option D, vagus nerve. The correct answer is option C, dorsal root. This structure participates in entering a spinal segment. It carries sensory fibers into the spinal cord, and it contains afferent axons approaching the posterior side. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 10. Which option identifies the cardiac structure with this feature? It is thickest in the chamber that pumps to the whole body. Option A, coronary artery. Option B, pulmonary semilunar valve. Option C, pulmonary artery. Option D, a myocardium. The correct answer is option D, myocardium. This cardiac structure participates in moving blood through circulation. It generates the force of cardiac contraction, and it is thickest in the chamber that pumps to the whole body. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 11. Which option identifies the structure with this feature? It lies in the precentral gyrus of the frontal lobe. Option A, primary motor cortex. Option B, withdrawal reflex. Option C, choroid plexus. Option D, temporal lobe. The correct answer is option A, primary motor cortex. This structure participates in controlling movement. It initiates voluntary skeletal minus muscle commands, and it lies in the precentral gyrus of the frontal lobe. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 12. Impairment of which skin structure or response would most directly prevent the following function? Increases heat loss by sending more blood near the body surface. Option A, cutaneous vasodilation. Option B, vitamin D synthesis. Option C, stratum granulosum. Option D, the Pochgrene sweat gland. The correct answer is option A, cutaneous vasodilation. A key clue is that this skin structure or response is promoted when core temperature rises. It also increases heat loss by sending more blood near the body surface. That combination is central to supporting thermoregulation. Question 13. Which option identifies the skin structure or response most important for supporting fine touch sensation because it detects light touch at the epidermal base? Option A, epidermal dendritic cell. Option B, sebaceous gland. Option C, tactile cell. Option D, nail matrix. The correct answer is option C, tactile cell. A key clue is that this skin structure or response associates with a sensory nerve ending. It also detects light touch at the epidermal base. That combination is central to supporting fine touch sensation. Question 14. A learner connects the clues, transmits signals from all autonomic preganglionic neurons, and binds nicotinic receptors on postganglionic cells. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, Broca area. Option B, the acetylcholine at autonomic ganglia. Option C, fovea centralis. Option D, autonomic nervous system. The correct answer is option B, acetylcholine at autonomic ganglia. The function described is that this structure transmits signals from all autonomic preganglionic neurons. A second identifying feature is that it binds nicotinic receptors on postganglionic cells. Together, the two clues explain the role in relaying sympathetic and parasympathetic commands. Question 15. Which option identifies the region associated with using the 9- region abdominal method in both clues? It lies beneath the left costal cartilages, and it contains the spleen and part of the stomach. Option A, left iliac region. Option B, hypogastric region. Option C, body of stomach. Option D, left hypochondriac region. The correct answer is option D, left hypochondriac region. The function described is that this region lies beneath the left costal cartilages. A second identifying feature is that it contains the spleen and part of the stomach. Together, the two clues explain the role in using the 9-region abdominal method. Question 16. Which option identifies the urinary structure most directly associated with beginning the renal tubule in this function, collects filtrate from the glomerular capillaries? Option A, nephron. Option B, collecting duct. Option C, distal convoluted tubule. Option D, glomerular capsule. The correct answer is option D, glomerular capsule. This urinary structure participates in beginning the renal tubule. It collects filtrate from the glomerular capillaries, and it forms a double-walled cup around the capillary tuft. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 17. A review item describes a skeletal structure or regulator that occupies much of the adult medullary cavity in long bones. Which option identifies it? Option A, yellow bone marrow. Option B, spongy bone. Option C, lacuna. Option D, articular cartilage. The correct answer is option A, yellow bone marrow. For serving as an energy reserve, this skeletal structure or regulator stores energy mainly as fat. It can also be recognized because it occupies much of the adult medullary cavity in long bones. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 18. A learner connects the clues, controls vital autonomic functions such as heart rate and breathing, and continues inferiorly into the spinal cord. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, amygdala. Option B, medulla oblongata. Option C, atrioventricular node. Option D, cone. The correct answer is option B, medulla oblongata. The function described is that this structure controls vital autonomic functions such as heart rate and breathing. A second identifying feature is that it continues inferiorly into the spinal cord. Together, the two clues explain the role in maintaining essential life functions.
Stressed about your NA-CCMA? We can take NA-CCMA for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. Impairment of which reproductive structure would most directly prevent the following function? Produces a female gamete through meiotic development? Option A, Sertoli cell. Option B, bulbourethral gland. Option C, oogenesis. Option D, uterus. The correct answer is option C, oogenesis. A key clue is that this reproductive structure begins before birth and resumes cyclically after puberty. It also produces a female gamete through meiotic development. That combination is central to forming an oocyte. Question 20. Which option identifies the region that lies in the lower middle abdomen? Option A, right lower quadrant. Option B, body of stomach. Option C, fundus of stomach. Option D, hypogastric region. The correct answer is option D, hypogastric region. This region lies in the lower middle abdomen. It may contain the urinary bladder and portions of the small intestine. These linked features explain the role in describing suprapubic discomfort. Question 21. A learner connects the clues, returns excess interstitial fluid toward the bloodstream, and also transports immune cells and absorbed dietary fats. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, primary active transport. Option B, lymph. Option C, anaphase. Option D, triiodothyronine. The correct answer is option B, lymph. The function described is that this fluid returns excess interstitial fluid toward the bloodstream. A second identifying feature is that it also transports immune cells and absorbed dietary fats. Together, the two clues explain the role in maintaining fluid balance and defense. Question 22. Which option identifies the structure that contracts a muscle when it is lengthened? Option A, stretch reflex. Option B, malleus. Option C, withdrawal reflex. Option D, spinal cord. The correct answer is option A, stretch reflex. This structure contracts a muscle when it is lengthened. It helps maintain posture and muscle tone. These linked features explain the role in responding to a tendon tap. Question 23. Which option identifies the skin structure or response associated with sensing gentle contact? In both clues, it detects light touch and low-frequency vibration, and it lies superficially in dermal papillae of sensitive skin. Option A, keratinocyte. Option B, stratum lucidum. Option C, hair follicle. Option D, tactile corpuscle. The correct answer is option D, tactile corpuscle. The function described is that this skin structure or response detects light touch and low-frequency vibration. A second identifying feature is that it lies superficially in dermal papillae of sensitive skin. Together, the two clues explain the role in sensing gentle contact. Question 24. Which option identifies the skin structure or response most directly associated with lowering body temperature during heat exposure, and this function releases watery sweat for evaporative cooling? Option A, vitamin D synthesis. Option B, cutaneous vasoconstriction. Option C, eccrine sweat gland. Option D, stratum basale. The correct answer is option C, eccrine sweat gland. This skin structure or response participates in lowering body temperature during heat exposure. It releases watery sweat for evaporative cooling, and it is widely distributed and opens directly onto the skin surface. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 25. Which option identifies the structure best matching this description? It circulates through ventricles and the subarachnoid space, and it cushions the central nervous system and helps maintain chemical stability. Option A, atrioventricular bundle. Option B, cornea. Option C, white matter. Option D, cerebrospinal fluid. The correct answer is option D, cerebrospinal fluid. For protecting neural tissue, this structure cushions the central nervous system and helps maintain chemical stability. It can also be recognized because it circulates through ventricles and the subarachnoid space. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations.